Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome to another detailing video. We've got the infamous E39 M5, new to the channel, new to me, and new to you as well. This video is just going to be a first wash, and normally my wash procedures are very similar. I try to be very similar, that way it's consistent. I don't forget anything or screw anything up. But we're going to be paying a lot of attention to detail here. I'm going to be pointing out issues, problems, and sort of future videos and future updates that we're going to be doing, whether it's paint correction, wheels, you know, if I'm going to be using aggressive wheel cleaner. I'm going to go through all the details on this video. Really, I want to loosen up all the dirt that's built up over the years. Although this car, the body is in very good shape, the paint is not, and I don't think there's any protection on it. So before I go driving around showing it off, as much as you can show off a very understated M5 like this, I'm going to do a first wash. So that's going to be really the first thing I'm doing to this car. But the first thing, before I do anything, before I wash any car, is the goal of this car is just to get it in clean shape, as well as just do sort of a topper at the end. I'm going to do the wheels, and I'm going to do the regular process that I normally do. But we're going to do a quick walk around. So not a lot of guys talk about this, but the first thing before I do any cars, including my own, no matter what car it is I do a quick walk around. I kind of take a peek at all the wheels. So the wheels are dirty, but nothing that some heavy duty brake and wheel cleaner can't take care of. As you can see on the inside there's some coated stuff, but that doesn't seem unreasonable to take care of. Of course, there's the usual BMW drippings sort of from the door sills there. There's, you know, a few problem areas where it drips down and then it sort of leaves a little streak. You know, the roof has, you know, build up as well. It's, you know, it definitely needs clay barred, but there's a lot of build up here, and you can kind of see on the sunroof here, hopefully, that there's a lot of, you know, pollen type of things built up. It has some bugs. There's some bugs on the windshield as well as the front of the car. As you can see, normally I wouldn't do this, but it needs a paint correction so bad it doesn't even matter at this point. There's a lot of, you know, junk that's built up, so I will most likely be using more than just Adams today. The front, yes, I know the lights are foggy. That will be taken care of very soon. And the rest of this, you know, the wheel wells, something like this, just getting your easy detail wheel brush in here and cleaning it up will make a big difference. And rounding around to the very back of this car, the exhaust definitely needs some probably steel wool. As you can hopefully see, you know, there is chrome right here. It's just, you know, it hasn't been touched in a really long time. I will most likely be doing some sort of mufflers to this car at first. I would like to do a muffler delete, but that might be too loud. So I might do like dine-in mufflers or something. But for now, I wanna take care of this. But I'm just gonna do sort of a heavy-duty cleaner and see where it gets it. And then in another dedicated video, I'll be doing a detail to the exhaust tips. It's gonna clean them up. It's gonna make it literally look like night and day. I can't wait to do that video. Of course, the trim, you know, that's nothing that we're really gonna be able to take care of today, but we're gonna loosen up all the dirt, all the stuff that's, you know, from behind the plate. See all this stuff, you know, right here? That's all stuff that is gonna be removed. Of course, hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, look at those swirls, guys. I'm very embarrassed to show you, but I've owned this car for about 24 hours. So it is what it is at this point. You know, there's some buildup right here. Hopefully we'll get rid of some of that. We'll have to see how that works. But yeah, so don't scream because of the paint. Of course, the windows, it doesn't necessarily look like there was a dog back here, and I don't think there was. But the windows definitely need a nice little wipe down. So it's gonna be a full in-depth wash. Of course, this does need a proper detail, but for now, we're just gonna get it in good shape to drive it around and not be quite as embarrassed as I normally would be. Especially areas like, if you guys can see that, like that, I mean, that's from a while of driving and sitting. So we're gonna get that, we're gonna get under here, but we're gonna start with the wheel. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna do is close these windows, because that would probably be smart. All right, guys, so since the wheels are in pretty rough shape as far as the dirt buildup, I'm gonna be using some aggressive wheel cleaner. This is Next Set Color Tech. Normally I use the regular green Griot's Garage stuff, which is very, you know, it doesn't have any iron remover or anything like that. It's very cheap, and it's just kind of more of a lubricant. Or I use the Adams Eco Wheel Cleaner, because both of them are very mild. and I do have the Grios heavy duty as well, but I'm trying this stuff, whoops. I'm trying this stuff just to see how it goes, and so far, so good. My go-to is Adam's tire and wheel cleaner, tire and rubber cleaner for the tires. Hopefully it'll make them nice and black and kind of remove sort of any sort of brown color from the tires. These are my go-to wheel brushes right here. These are the two that seem to be working the best on this car. I can get inside the barrel with the easy detail, and then the boar's hair works really well as well. And then of course we have our little lambskin mitt to sort of get the dish of the wheel and the sort of the lip and the edge of the wheel. And lastly, we just have a quick little cheap brush that you can find pretty much anywhere for the tire. And I'm not gonna rinse them first because these are pretty heavily, there's a lot of dirt on here, so normally I would do a blast, but if you're in the shade, it's really not a huge deal if you don't let it sit too long. So I definitely want to spray, you know, inside the barrel there. That's where a lot of the junk is built up, and then in the lugs here, and then just kind of in general. And you'll see that this stuff turns purple very quickly. I'm not sure if you're seeing any of that, but yeah, it's definitely releasing some, you know, iron and embedded stuff in the wheel. We're gonna be using this stuff on the exhaust as well, just because it's very heavy duty, and this thing needs a lot of love. So pretty much same procedure as the wheels, pretty much do the exhaust when you do the wheels, and you'll be set. Okay guys, so all the wheels are done. They're in a lot better shape than they were before. As you can see, you know, this one is still drying. It's already dry because it's so darn hot out here. It's still not quite as black as I'd want it, but it's one step in the right direction. So we're gonna take our 2-bucket method here. I did a mix of Adam's car shampoo with Car Pro Reset because it sort of emulsifies a little bit better, and kind of half and half. And I also had some random snow foam laying around just the rest of this, so that's why this is a little bit green. Filled up about halfway or so, maybe a little bit more. All right, so next step is rinsing down the car. All right, get the shampoo ready. Put some in the bucket. Ready to go. Alright, so in the essence of time, I'm going to use this mix 1 to 15 Car Pro X2O and distilled water, and I sprayed some Reload in there, maybe like 5 to 10 sprays. Geon Silk Dryer, as you guys know how much I love it. Spray this bad boy down. Be very liberal with it. And I'll bring you along, don't worry. Don't worry, you're gonna come with me. You're gonna come over here and see. That's kind of crazy that the water is literally, this is obviously, this is water, this is not. The water's just sitting on the paint. So we are going to be doing this as quickly, gentle of course if we can, but you know, as you guys already have seen this paint a few times, this thing is trashed. So let's just get the hood really quick, get some sealant on there. And a problem I'm experiencing with a car that definitely needs clayed. You can hear it. Maybe you can't hear it on camera, but I can even hear this towel. I could even hear my wash mitt. We've got a nasty water spot there. So this thing is trashed, but we got to get a little bit of protection on it, at least for now. To the untrained eye, they might not even know, but of course we're gonna know. But for now, this is all we can do. All right, use the other side of this bad boy. And this method doesn't even really work, just because the car is just not beating, no protection. I don't know if you can hear this, but it feels like sandpaper. Alright guys, so after a long day, this thing's finally done. Sigh of relief, but this was literally an awful experience. I picked one of the hottest days, a black car that hadn't been detailed in a really long time, and it was my first time, you know, getting to know it and going to know the problem areas and all that stuff. It wasn't fun, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Washing a car in the sun is probably one of my least favorite things in the world. And I chose today to do it because I have to wash the M3 tonight as well, because I have all my stuff out, so I'd rather just get 2 of them done at one time. As you can see, I have tons of bugs. I don't know if you can see that, but we went to Hocking Hills in Ohio, drove for like a few hours, and this thing, the brake dust, it's in rough shape. So I need to wash the M3, but I need to wash this first. And I mean, there's just water spots on water spots, swirls, dings. I mean, it's not fun. I guess learning, you know, the imperfections about the car, but I kind of had an idea, you know, of what I was getting myself into. But it does look a lot better. You know, I got the layer of crap off of it, which is really good. And I'm sorry not to be super excited, but I actually think I'm really dehydrated, so I'm gonna go inside for a little bit. Usually I wait till the sun like sets a little bit more, but I don't have a lot of time because of, you know, I wanna meet some friends tonight, and I also wanna wash the M3, so I'm sort of stuck washing a stupid black car in the sun, which I'll probably never do again. I'd rather just leave this thing dirty because I just can't take this. My whole shirt is full of sweat. But anyways, so one thing that I'm probably, you know, noticing is there's a few areas where it's dripping constantly. I made sure to dry out this area. I'll probably do it again just to prevent any gas cap rust. You know, I did notice, actually when I went to buy it, I did know about this when I bought the car. This is one of the few little areas, but thankfully it's just on the trim, so hopefully that's pretty easy to fix. But overall, I mean, it looks a lot better. One of the biggest things that can be changed is the headlights. You know, having the headlights look so dated and foggy really makes any car look, you know, much older than it is, no matter whatever age, even if it's only a car that's a few years old. But I mean, even look at the wheel. I mean, this one doesn't really have much curb rash or pitting or anything. It looks really good. Of course, the trim is not nearly as black as it could be. Of course, there's some staining down here, which is no fun. And naturally, we have like people moving their lives as I'm filming a video, so that's always fun. We've got this. I don't even know if that was from me, but this is probably a new experience for me because it's a black car. Alright guys, so long-winded answer, a long-winded response is that I'm finally finished with the first wash of the M5, and it still is a great car. I think I'm gonna do these lights either tomorrow or in the next week or two. I have a few, you know, I have oil change and I have the Bluetooth that I definitely want to do in the near term, because that is, you know, obviously oil is very essential. Everyone, pretty obvious. So I want to make sure it has fresh oil at least, and then the Bluetooth just makes it more livable. So that is gonna do it. I'm so beat right now, and it seems like every little cloud that was up there went like right around the sun. So I was literally in the sun for way longer than I anticipated. Usually if it's cloudy, it's not that bad. But you know, you don't always have a choice, so that's kind of rough. But until next time, I can't wait to actually get this thing in really good shape. But this is a nice little update for you guys. So hopefully that answers your questions. You kind of get to know the car a little bit better, as long as me. And all the links for the products I use are in the description, as they always are. I've done a handful of car washing videos, so if you like this one, chances are you're gonna like another one. There's one that did really well, how I wash my M3 or something like that, that did really well in a short amount of time. So that one has very detailed product information and links in the description of that video as well. So I use a lot of the same products in all my cars. So anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for the carbon black metallic E39 M5. More to come as usual, and I'll see you guys next time.